see it earlier. Yeah. Regular packet, right? Where are we gonna read it at? What? That's it. From it. I thought I saw it earlier though. Send it to me real quick. I can print.
Mr. Logan,
Yes.
can Ruth Ann send that letter to Miss Hunt?
I'm sorry?
Can she send that letter to Miss Hunt? I told Miss Lavender Norris that I don't have it.
Okay. Ruth Ann, did you hear that?
Yeah, just send it to Councilwoman Green, and I'll send it to Mrs. Hunt also.
Thank you.
Did you hear that, girl? Yeah, I did hear it, yeah. Yeah, I did hear it, yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to start, Mr. Logan? Is everyone on?
Let's just check here. I think all council members are in attendance, with the exception of our council president.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. We welcome you to our regular city council meeting for the city of Coatesville. Today, Monday, December 14th. Council met earlier in executive session discussing real estate and personnel matters. Would someone like to open us up in prayer?
I would just like to open us up in a moment of silence for all of
Okay,
the
Mr.
families. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Foltz.
Mm-hmm.
Chief, are you there with your flag?
Yeah, he's there.
Chief's not here?
Yeah, he's here.
He's there. The
Oh,
flag's
partner.
behind him.
Okay.
Flag is behind me.
Okay. See, I can't see him. I have my agenda up.
Okay.
Can you begin the salute to flag, Chief?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
Liberty and
liberty
justice.
and justice for all.
Thank you. So we call our meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes. I would like to announce the absence of our council president, Ms. Linda Lavender Norris.
I make that
Is there a
motion.
motion?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? No questions or comments? Can you poll council, Mr. Logan?
Yes. Mr. Foltz,
Yes.
Ms. Salamine,
Yes.
Ms. Graves,
Yes.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes.
Thank you.
On to number 2, approval of accounts payables. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I second.
Any questions or comments?
Yes, I just have a couple. So, on page 7 of 10, for one of the officers, reimbursement for beanbag reloads, I thought the money that they got in January, chief, was for anything they might need, you know.
That's for the entire department. That's Corporal Injemy, our training officer. He had for training on our less lethal. So he's just being reimbursed for training rounds for the entire department for training.
Page 9 of 110, monthly phone alarm expense for Ash Park. What phone and alarm expenses at Ash Park? Mr. Troutman?
I'm going to have to pull the bill and look.
Well, I didn't know that we had phone service at Ash Park or an alarm expense for that matter. That's
I
it.
apologize, but I don't know off the top of the head. I'll look
Okay.
into it.
That's it for me.
Okay. Mr. Logan, poll council?
Ms. Salamine,
No.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Ms. Graves,
No.
Mr. Foltz,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes. Okay. We are
Cord
on
two.
to additions, deletions, or modifications. Any additions to the,
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to add 7.8 to ratify the emergency declaration that we put in place as written.
is there a second?
I second that.
Poll council?
Ms. Salamine,
Yes.
Mr. Foltz,
Yes.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Ms. Graves,
Yes.
Ms. Salamine, oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
and Mrs. Green.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're on to presentations. Is the Forte Butler family online?
Hello?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I was asking if the Forte Butler family was still online.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening.
Bobette.
Bobette
Anthony.
Forte, Anthony Forte, is Patrice on?
I don't think so. Carmen.
That's all right.
But Anthony's on. Anthony,
Anthony's on?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Mo. We have a presentation, a letter of condolence that is going to be read by Mrs. Hunt. And we wanted to have you on tonight just to share and to offer our deepest condolences to you in the memory of Terrence P. Forte. Terrence was such an excellent person, and I know, especially his mom, I know that you have just found out so many wonderful things during this time. And Mrs. Hunt, are you ready?
I am, yes.
My God.
To the Forte family, it gives me great pleasure to read this to you on behalf of the City Council of the City of Coatesville. And it reads, Dear Forte family, it is with great sympathy and sorrow to hear about the passing of Terrence Lamont Pete Forte. Pete came to us on January 12, 1972, and will now live in eternity. His work in the community speaks volumes of the love he had for his community and friends. On behalf of the entire City Council, please accept our deepest condolences on this untimely loss. Pete was one of a kind and known for his generosity, wisdom, and knowledge. He was always available to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Pete was a graduate of the great class of 1990 at the Coatesville Area Senior High School. After graduation, Pete joined the United States Navy, where he was stationed in San Diego, California. Upon leaving the military, Pete returned home, where he was employed by ArcelorMittal, formerly known as Luke and Still, from June 12, 1995, until his passing. Pete authored the book titled The Broken Circle and became a Coatesville celebrity for his body of work. He loved to travel and hang out with his friends and play card games, spades. He always kept a smile and made everyone laugh. He lived a full life. Life did not live him. He participated in the art exhibitions at City Hall and gave away many copies of his book in support of his community. Let the Lord bless you and your family with the strength to strengthen your family bond through his memories and love. Please know that you are in our prayers and thoughts. With love and appreciation, City of Coatesville City Council. God bless you, family.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Bobette and Mo, just know that, well, you've seen the outpouring, you have experienced it. Pete was very loved. Pete was just a help. And I tell you, just not to carry on, but I know that he picked up that mantle that Wesley Forte left, that legacy. And we're just grateful to have experienced him. And we just wanted you to know how appreciative we were for all of his, all the things that he has done. So thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very nice.
In our prayers.
All right, enjoy your meeting.
All right. Thank you, Mo.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Carmen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you, Bobette.
Love y'all.
Okay.
All right, Don.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Our next presentation will be from DEPG, Mr. DePetris.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm here. My uncle Steve's on the line. My dad Jim is right here. We wanted to thank you for having us. For those who don't know me, my name's Jamie DePetris. I am an employee of DEPG Development. And as always, we are very grateful to be a part of this community. As shown, you guys are very supportive to your citizens just by that letter. That was very moving. Pete Forte sounded like a wonderful gentleman, and that was a very nice letter to read. We wanted to come to City Council today before we close out the end of 2020 and just provide an update on our project. And we believe that and hope that the year 2021 will bring some great momentum to the city of Coatesville and hopefully specifically our project. And I also want to thank Mr. Logan for his communication with us in his leadership role these past couple months. He's been working with me directly a lot on a lot of these matters that we will talk about. So I just wanted to thank him for that. Ruth Ann, I don't know if I can share my screen. If I can, okay, I think I can. So if you can see my screen, I just wanted to show some items that we wanted to talk about. The first item is our streetscape improvement project there on Lincoln Highway. We're happy to announce that the work that was being completed on the south side of Lincoln Highway should be completed by next week. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be this week, and we were very excited to announce that, but with this crazy storm coming in this week, it was pushed to next. So we'll keep everybody updated on that matter. The next thing we wanted to talk about was the restaurant progress for phase 1 and phase 2, which those buildings, as everyone knows, is the Cultural Society building there on Lincoln Highway and the old bank building on the corner of Lincoln and Route 82. As we've discussed before, and as everybody has seen, the pandemic has had a real impact on the restaurant industry and our ability to attract and acquire financing for new restaurant opportunities and to attract restaurant operators has been quite difficult this year. But we are still committed to look forward to dining back to downtown Coatesville. And we are working on some creative structures with some investors that can hopefully attract some operators and investors in those opportunities as the year goes on and 2021 brings some better news to that industry. As regards to our liquor license, due to the governor's emergency declaration, because of the pandemic, our liquor license is protected from expiration. We did have a call with Mr. Logan and Sonia Hunsinger with our consultant, Michael Gill, and his office, and we just were able to provide some information to them regarding that, and we were happy to do that, and I think that was very informative. The last thing on the list we wanted to talk about, which has definitely gotten the most momentum in the year 2021 for us, is the Coatesville Gateway project that is on the corner of First Ave and Route 82. This project was originally planned for 34,000 feet. And we are now planning to do an initial phase of 20,000 feet, a 2-story building, 10,000 square feet on each floor, with the intent of finishing that 34,000 square feet in the future with a second phase of 14,000 feet when the 20,000 is leased up. We were successful in attracting Prosper Bank and Elite Therapy to join our tenant mix on that Coatesville Gateway project on the corner. That takes us to about 50% pre-leased right now. And we're also very appreciative and excited that Prosper Bank is not only going to be a tenant in that building, but they are also looking to finance that and going to committee this week regarding a construction loan on that. Janek from Prosper, he's actually on the call tonight. We've been working very directly with him, and we look forward to continuing that relationship and growing it more. Along with this project as well, there's the Department of Economic Development program, Business in Our Sites. There's a piece of that regarding phase 3. And we actually had a call with the director from DCED today, and just to give him an update on this project and where we see our 2021 headed. And he was very supportive. And we're going to work with him in Prosper Bank to make this happen. So with phase 3, we hope to bring it to conclusion and with a start of construction, hopefully by the end of the first quarter of 2021. And that brings us to our conclusion of our updates for now. We can answer any questions, but we're really very appreciative to be here, and we look forward to 2021 just as much as everybody else does.
I have a question. Jamie, so
Hi.
you're saying 20, hi, how are you? You're saying 20,000 square feet with an additional 14,000 square feet. Where's that going to be?
I'll share a screen. I should have shared this before. I'm sorry. So if you can see my screen now, so right here was originally that totaled 34,000 square feet. And basically what we plan to do is do this 20,000 square feet that catty corners the corner. And then this green area is approximately the second phase. And we don't plan to leave it dirt and ugly. We do plan to do something with it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, we wish everyone a very happy holiday season and a very happy new year. And we really look forward to 2021, as I said, everybody does. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jamie.
Great, thank you.
Mrs. Green, I see you're on mute. Are you still there? Mrs. Green, are you still there? All right, well, we'll wait till she gets back. Well, we won't wait till she gets back. We'll continue on with our next presentation, which is from Andrea's Jazz Cafe. I think we have Mr. Dantzler.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Mr. Dugan. I could not get it unmuted. Yeah, Mr. Dantzler. Hi, Mr. Dantzler. How are you?
I'm doing good. Ms. Green?
Good. Yep. How are you?
Good, thank God. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, I'd just like to thank City Council for this opportunity to present to you our goals and our plans to open up Andrea's Jazz Cafe. This evening, I have with me part of my team, my executive manager, Bridget Dudley, and we also have counsel, Mr. Skip Bryant here also with us. And to expedite the time, I'm going to turn it over to our executive manager so she can give you a presentation. And if there's any questions after she's completed, we'll be happy to answer them. Okay?
Thank you.
So at this time, it's on.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hopefully everyone can hear me okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. We are presenting our venture, our business venture in Coatesville's economic revitalization, and it's for Andrea's Jazz Cafe. And Andrea's Jazz Cafe, excuse me, is going to bring a unique live music, entertainment, and dining venue to the city of Coatesville. We are located at 236 East Lincoln Highway. I will start by telling you that we have started this process in September of this year, 2020, and we were fortunate to apply for the Coatesville Second Century Alliance facade grant, matching grant, and we were awarded the matching grant. We have completed the facade, so I don't know if anyone has had an opportunity to ride down that sector of Coatesville to see that it is completed. The only thing that is not unveiled is the name of the cafe, but it is there. And we're excited. We're really excited. This has been a dream of Mr. Dantzler's, and it's been a joy and a pleasure working with him and our team that we have assembled to assist in this process. Like I said, we did start this. We embarked on this approximately the middle of September, and by the first week of December, we had completed the facade exterior renovations. Our next phase is going to be our interior renovations, and City Council has received a diagram of what that layout is going to look like. Andrea's Jazz Cafe is going to bring a unique venue to the city and to the Tri-City area, I would say, because there's really no venue specifically designed like this. We're going to bring smooth jazz, bebop, Latin, contemporary, country blues, down home, jazz, blues, fusion, you name it, we're going to have it. We're going to have local artists as well as headline artists as well. Our capacity is seats right now for 60 people, 60 tables, 60 individuals. And our cuisine is American Creole cuisine. And, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying,
Okay. Well, that's a good sign. Interior.
Carmen is in.
Okay. Well, thank you. We're hoping everyone will be in because it's a great opportunity. Most of you probably know Dennis from the community. He's born and raised here in Coatesville. And you can always see him around and about doing his business and all. Interior, we're going to be gutting it out and then redesigning it with a performance stage, 2 new bathrooms, which will be, of course, ADA compliant and accessible. We will have a full service bar as well as a full kitchen. So that is what the interior is going to entail. Our as far as what we're offering in Andrea's Jazz Cafe, right now we're going to be operating Wednesday through Saturdays. Those are our core evenings. And on Wednesdays, we're going to feature spoken word, or some call it performance poetry, as well as jam sessions. So if you know any musicians who just want to come and jam it out there, they're welcome to come in on Wednesdays and do that. It's a free open, first come, first serve sign up situation. On Thursdays, we're going to feature theme nights, and we're going to have different themes based on, what we come up with. And we're shooting to have at least one set on Thursdays. It is an option to have 2 sets, but right now we're going to start with just 1 set. And on Friday and Saturday, we're going to feature 2 sets. And on Sunday, once a month for right now, once or possibly twice a month, we're going to feature a Sunday jazz/gospel brunch that will be available. Also, we wanted to include the youth of Coatesville because they're an important component to the development of the city and to the redevelopment of the city. And one night a month, we are going to collaborate, of course, with Coatesville Area School District, and we want to sponsor students from the local schools to come in and showcase their talent. So whether they play an instrument, they have a vocal, or they have poetry, they write poetry, whatever it is that they want to do, we will be able to feature them and showcase them one night a week. They will be able to have a couple of tickets to invite family members, and we will also provide to them complimentary appetizers and soft drinks and water. So that's we're very proud of that. And like I said, we're going to be reaching out to the school district to figure out what's the best way to do it. What comes to our mind is to randomly have the students sign up, and whether they are randomly drawn or, but we want to give each and every student an opportunity from elementary up to high school. And there's some great jazz bands at the high schools as well. So we definitely would like to have them featured on some of our evenings as well. Our non-posted hours, other than the hours and days that I have mentioned to you, we will open that up for social organizations, social groups, businesses, if they want to come in and have a luncheon meeting or an early dinner meeting, but we will, have those facilities available to them. And as well, we're going to offer takeout dining as well as outdoor dining, weather permitting. I'm sorry. Okay. We do have a management team in place right now. Our management team consists of approximately 85 years of combined experience. Dennis, he has the most experience with 50 years experience. And myself, I come to you with 25 years of business management, financial management experience. And Dennis and I both have food service management experience. In my part-time, I do catering and event planning and things like that for private events. And Dennis has actually owned and operated a food service business for approximately 8 years, which was very successful for him here in, I think it was in Downingtown, in the Downingtown area. We also have an entertainment director, and Ramona, she brings 25 plus years. She is also a performer. She performs solo. She also has a band as well. She also will be assisting with the booking of engagements for the Jazz Cafe. We're really excited to have her on board. She's an awesome and dynamic vocalist as well. And then we also have a social media liaison, because that is really core and critical in communication and advertising of the business. So we're excited to have Alexis as well. She comes to us with 10 years of social media experience. As far as some of the things, in addition to the things that I already addressed, we will be looking to initially hire 13 employees. And as we want to employ, of course, as many qualified applicants as possible from Coatesville. We would like to have at least 50% local. That is our goal. So that is the goal that we will try to adhere to make sure that, because with any economic redevelopment, there has to be some benefits to the residents within the city, and bringing employment opportunities. That's definitely a way that we can capitalize and do that. And we've actually had people during our exterior construction, just local residents walking by, admiring the facade, and then asking, can I get a job here, or are you guys going to be hiring, and so forth. So that is open. We'll be advertising through mediums such as Indeed, PA Career Link, Chesco.org, and mychesco.com, just to name a few. We offer, of course, a competitive salary, incentives, and bonuses. And that way we want to ensure that not only the residents of Coatesville, but other employees are committed to the business and becoming a part of the family. And that's how we view ourselves, as a family and a team. We do, of course, we're in the midst of COVID, and that's a challenge to everyone. And we had thought about that from the onset, because we don't know what the future holds. So we have a continuity plan in place to ensure that we keep people safe, not only during the COVID periods, but beyond that as well. So the things that we are implementing for safety protocols will not just be during the COVID pandemic, but in any pandemic or any event that occurs, but basically just a standard practice. It's our standard operating procedure. And we want to make sure that we're keeping our staff, our performers, and our customers safe. So just to give you a couple examples, we're going to institute what's called a safe space scanner. And upon entrance into the doors, you will be scanned to monitor your temperature. You don't have to do anything. You basically just stand there and it takes your reading. And if anyone has any type of temperature or does not meet the threshold, then they will not be permitted to enter the building at that time. Also, we're going to have contactless as much as possible. So for instance, hand sanitizers will be at entrance. So we'll ask that everyone sanitize as they come in. There'll be sanitizers outside of the restrooms, inside of the restrooms. The restrooms will all be contactless. The lights, no touching lights, faucets, toilet flushing, anything like that. So no touch at all. We're also going to institute a contactless food and beverage ordering system via a smartphone. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to experience what that's like, but basically you just scan your phone over a barcode and it will upload our menu, our food menu as well as the bar menu. And excuse me, if you do not have a smartphone, because not everyone does, then we will have the traditional laminated menus, and of course they will be laminated so that way they can be cleaned and disinfected after each turn of a person. All of our flatware will be pre-packaged, and we'll have, of course, disposable napkins. Plexiglass will be available at the table and bar as dividers when required. Plexiglass will be a standard around the performance stage as well. When the public health department mandates mask wearing, masks are required. No mask, no entry. This is basically going to be our procedure and our protocol. Staff will have PPE, and this will just be a standard protocol for them. They will wear a mask. They will also have the face shield, and they will have gloves as well as the other sanitation items that are needed for them. So, and then with each turn of a table, the tables and chairs will be sanitized and disinfected, wiped down after each customer. So we try to, be very diligent in making sure that everyone is safe, but yet still has a fun and enjoyable time. We have received a letter of support thus far from Gary Smith, who is the CEO of the Chester County Economic Development Council. And I believe that has been provided to you, to council, for your reference. And we are seeking the economic development license, dispenser license. And we have taken the steps to apply for that process. There is a process, and we reached out to 223 licensees. That was a part of the process. And of those 223 licensees that we sent contacts out to, we received 24 responses. 7 were interested in selling their license. And just so you know, the minimum price that they were asking was $500,000, and the maximum was as high as $2 million. Dennis and I, unfortunately, can't afford $500,000 right now. It's just beyond our means. But we still have invested so much into the building so far and thus far, and we're eager, and we have our business plan in place, and that's been approved. Our business plan has been approved, and we are looking to make this a reality, this dream a reality. And with the support of City Council, we know that that's the one thing that we need to enable us to go forward. So we're hopeful and asking with all sincerity that you would support us in our bid for an economic development license. Keep in mind that we are asking for this license now, and our intent and our goal, and at this point, we don't see any obstacle, is to open our doors July 1st, 2021. So with that economic license, we are looking to implement right away. very, very quickly. So we might as well say we're almost at January now. So within 6 months of the new year, we want to be up and running. And that is our goal. So we have everything is just moving according to plan. And we're very excited. Dennis is extremely excited. He's a native of Coatesville, and he loves his city. And I have grown to love this city too. I'm a Philadelphia native, but I have embraced this city, and the city has embraced me as well.
Wow.
So with that, if anyone has any questions.
Well, thank you so much. That presentation was awesome.
Carmen, Carmen, I'm gonna have to step away for a minute. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right,
Mr. Folks. The presentation, Mr. Dantzler, was just awesome. Your vision is fantastic, and it just looks like you're taking all the necessary steps that you need. I think a jazz place for the city would be a good fit. Council, I'm not sure. Does anyone have any questions for them?
I don't really have any questions. I'm just very impressed.
Yes,
Well,
very.
with the presentation, Mr. Dantzler, and congratulations on what you've done thus far. And we just look forward to seeing your project come to fruition in the city.
Well, thank you so much.
I don't have any questions either, but I'd like to say congratulations, Mr. Dantzler. I look forward to your grand opening, and I wish you much success.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Now, I don't know what the time frame would be on the economic development license, and what that would mean for us, what we would need to do for that.
Yep. Are you there?
Do you, Mr. Logan?
Well, until we get to that point, usually the city would provide a letter of support.
Okay.
In terms of welcoming another restaurant in the community that is seeking a license. I think we may have an opportunity to support a few of them actually. So this is going to be great for the city.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, again, Mr. Dantzler, we thank you so much. Your presentation was awesome, and we look forward to Andrea's opening up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was just asked. I'm going to ask you. Do we need to get your full support? Will we need a vote on that, or we already have it? Because this is my first time here. I don't know.
Excuse me, this is Sunny. If I can just jump in, is that okay?
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Part of their application has to have with it a resolution from council.
Yeah.
So it's a requirement for the economic development liquor license that council hold a public hearing. And I see Attorney Brian on the call too, so he can jump in and let me know whether or not I'm right on this. But I think they have to have a public hearing, and the resolution from City Council has to accompany their application. So, okay, go ahead, Skip.
That is correct, Sonny. So
thanks.
Whether it be a resolution this evening or in a future council meeting, we're making application immediately, obviously. So if you would make a resolution, I was about to step in before you did, but if a resolution would be passed tonight supporting their application for an economic development license, that would be very helpful.
Well, we would need to receive a resolution.
Can we
I
add
don't know
it?
if I'm prepared to do that tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Verway, would you like to respond to that?
That we would have to. That's something we'd have to address at a future meeting. We could do that in January if once we get a letter requesting that we take those steps, and we can get that process started.
Our next meeting is January 4th, I think.
I think that's a reorganization meeting. The first business meeting will be the 11th.
The 11th, yeah.
So out of curiosity, the last license that was presented to the city of Coatesville, is this the same road that they went down, or just something new that you're proposing tonight?
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. You have to have a resolution.
Okay.
So do we draft the letter? I'm just trying to understand, or is this just a sidebar that we need to have later?
I will draft the letter.
Okay, thank you, Skip.
For the request, yes.
Okay, okay. So we'll draft that and get that to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dantzler, for the presentation. Look forward to your Jazz Cafe.
Thank you so much, Ms. Green.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Skip, for being
Thank
here too.
Yep. Thank you, Skip.
I'm happy to help.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Our next presentation is for Eagle Disposal. Mr. Logan, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, this evening we have from Eagle Disposal, which is our waste management company, on this evening to provide us with not only an action plan, but an update of what's been going on here in the city. We have Andrew Casey, who is our direct contact. And I think he's joined this evening by one of his colleagues, Joel Awashok. Joel, is that the right pronunciation of your last name? All right, thank you. I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
But I'll turn it over to you, Andrew. And if you'd like me to share your screen, just let me know.
Okay, yeah.
Or do
Thank you,
you
Mr.
have your PowerPoint up there that you can do it?
I do not have it up there.
All right. Well, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. I knew you were going to say that.
All right, so in this action plan, where we want to focus is on customer service is the first issue. And then also we want to start quarterly meetings back up. We were doing them, and then we kind of got hit with the COVID, so we were unable to meet. With customer service, the current situation is that a driver reports any issues that are emailed or reported to the city. I'm on page 3, Mr. Logan.
Sorry. Is it not up?
Yeah, it's up.
It is up. So you can go to page 3. There you go. Thank you. And also, we've Coastal will report any issues handled as calls in or the next day. And we're at we're at no fines right now in our service history. We want to go to next page, please. Customer service step 1, we want to establish quarterly meetings to review service issues and concerns. Who can be there would be city members, city manager, public works, city council members, not limited to, but there. Eagle Disposal contacts would be the contract manager, operations and customer service manager, and also the site manager would be there. Step 2, Eagle Disposal would utilize daily reporting logs. Drivers identify issues on route, i.e. over the limit, overweight issues. Daily logs would be compiled and emailed daily to Coatesville City representative. Next page, please. Customer service step 3. Coatesville City reports issues daily as received via emails to Eagle Disposal customer service. Issues reported before 12 p.m. handled the same day. After 12 p.m., they would be handled within 24 hours. Issues logged by Eagle personnel by day. Step 4 would be Eagle Disposal crews call in designated city representative to ensure all issues received prior to leaving the city. Next page, please. Customer service step 5. Eagle Disposal tracks all customer and daily reported issues, proving monthly summaries to Coatesville City. Step 6. Violation and liquidated damages, unresolved issues subject to fine and outlined in sections 21 and page 12 of the contract. please. So our action plan in summary. You can go to the next page, please. That's for login. On 12/18/20, we'll schedule the first quarterly service meeting. We'll figure out a date that works for everybody. Once a week, we'll check in by the municipal manager. James and Steve can call myself at any time. If they ever have any issues, they'll have my cell phone. I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also, in the past, we have donated roll-off dumpsters for cleanup days. We'd like to continue that. If you have another event that comes up, we can handle them on a case-by-case basis. And we have sponsored the Grand Prix in the past. We'd like to look to doing that again with you guys. Also, we may have had service interruptions this year due to COVID-19 has hit our industry pretty hard. This being that it was a worldwide pandemic, that's caused delays in the waste industry across the country. It's not just Eagle that experiences them. We have protocols that we have to follow, that we go through. We're doing temperature testing for our employees. We also have contact quarantining that depletes our workforce that we have to overcome. And when we have people that are sick, we definitely stress that they don't come to work, even if it's just a cold, not COVID or anything, you know, erring on the side of caution. And right now we're doing, like I said, we're doing temperature checks for them. And one thing we have changed for you that is not in your contract that we started not too long ago is that the bulk waste is now once a week for all your residents, where in the contract it originally was for one item a month. So that we did change, and we will continue doing it.
Sorry, Andrew, I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat that last line?
Sure. The bulk waste that we changed, we went from, it was once a month, the way it was in the contract, but we switched to now doing it once a week. That each household gets one item per week. That we're doing that to hope, you know, clean up some of the bulk that's in the city. We will continue to do that. So we just look forward to continuing our relationship, and that's where we're at. And if you have any questions, I'll be here happy to answer them.
No one has any questions?
No, just when will the, do you know when the quarterly meetings will start taking place again, Andrew? I was a part of them before, and then you're right, because of COVID. So I guess now they'll be done via Zoom, but do you know when they may resume, the first quarter of 2021?
Yes. First quarter of 2021, I will get with Mr. Logan and we'll set a date that works for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Now, Andrew, the reporting process, if there's an issue, that process seems to get changed and crowded from time to time. Now, in your action plan, you said to email to customer service. I know that there was a specific issue that a part of the city was not being, one street was not being picked up for a whole month. And in calling to customer service, 3 days, you got 3 different people and no one really knew what was going on. So I see in your action plan, you're saying to email them as opposed to calling. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's, well, I propose to email it so you do have you can track it that way. But, you know, calling is fine also. You know, I don't want to take that out of the equation. And then in an instant like that too, if it's not being resolved, if you get with Mr. Logan, then he can get a hold of me. Then I can look into it further for you. Or anybody else, feel free to call me too.
All right, well, thank you for increasing the bulk item to once a week. That's great for the residents. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, when does the contract expire?
It would be May 31st, I believe, next year, unless you do an extension.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you, Andrew, for coming and going over that action plan. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a happy holidays, please.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Patrick. Thanks, Joel.
Thank you.
Next time, don't talk so much.
Yeah, I'll be a little louder next time. Sorry.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
on
Thank
to discussion items. Anyone have anything for meeting minutes? Nope. All right, citizens' hearings on regular action items.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. Rudan, is that someone that has their hand raised for a discussion item?
Oh, okay.
Rudan, are you there?
Yes.
As in, is that yes, as in someone has their hand raised for a discussion item?
Yes, Sue Springsteen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but the discussion items right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
for us.
these
Yeah,
are citizens'
mine is
hearings.
for the citizens.
Hearings.
Yeah. So we're on the citizens' hearings under regular action items. Ms. Springsteen.
Okay.
How are you?
Hi. All right.
Hi.
I'm Susan Springsteen. I'm a business owner in the city. My location's at 237 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, soon to be 190 West Lincoln Highway. And my comment is on the budget, which is on the agenda this evening. As you know, I'm a relatively new business owner in the city. And when I first decided to relocate my businesses to Coatesville, I did have some concern, I admit, about how the city would be able to, fund its competing community needs through its modest tax base, and that there might be tax increases coming, and it might be a little bit hard for us to, maintain some of the things we wanted to do. But I understand from the budget hearings that for the first time in a long time, that tonight council is presenting a balanced budget for 2021 that does not require a tax increase or dipping into its reserve fund. So as a business owner, I just want to thank council, city management, staff, and everybody who was involved in this, because this could not have been easy. This is a huge accomplishment, and it's one I think you guys should just shout from the rooftops. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate hearing that. Thank you so much. And you're right. This is the first time in, I think, was it 18 years, Ms. Alameen?
Yep, it's been a long, long time. And so I echo Ms. Springsteen. It's a great job to everybody.
Yeah, huge, huge.
Huge.
This is a huge accomplishment, and it's one I think you guys should
Rudan has the playback going.
We got a playback on the telephone.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Thank you,
Folks, you're
Sue.
back. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. Folks.
Oh, thank you.
We missed you.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yes, we did. Is there any other citizen waiting to be heard?
Carmen, somebody, whoever's on 4769 is trying to say something, but I do not know who it is.
No, they got their phone on. They won't mute it.
No, they had it muted.
Hello,
Hello?
this is Laurie Shannon Bailey.
Oh, okay. Hi, Lori.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I hope you're doing well.
Good, good.
You have feedback on your telephone.
Oh, I apologize.
We're
Watching YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the YouTube. Okay, you have a comment, Ms. Shannon Bailey, on the action items?
Yes, so help me understand the action item. I wanted to make a comment on the Jazz Cafe. Is that not an action item? It
No,
doesn't sound
it's
like
not.
it is.
No.
Okay, then how about the Eagle presentation? Is that
No.
not an action item either? Okay, okay, then
So
I'll
you
just
would
wait
come
till
back
the end
later on.
of,
Yeah,
yes.
you would
Thank
just
you
come
so
back
much.
later. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're on to regular action items. Mr. Logan, 7.1, receive and consider a motion for adoption of ordinance 1539-2020, establishing the tax rate for general purposes for the year 2021 at the same rate as that set for tax year 2020.
Excuse me, Councilman Green, we need to close regular action items.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or the
Exactly.
citizen comment.
Closed citizens hearing, yep. Is there a motion?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
You poll council, Mr. Logan?
What happened to him? Oh, there he is.
Mr. Logan, are you there?
You're muted.
Ms. Graves,
Yes.
Ms. Salamine,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Mr. Pope,
Yes.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
and Mrs. Green.
Yes. Okay,
6-0
now
carries.
we're on the regular action item.
All right.
Okay, 7.1, receive and consider a motion for adoption of ordinance 15-2020, establishing the tax rate for general purposes for the year 2021 at the same rate as that set for tax purposes for year 2020.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Logan.
No, second.
Is there a second?
This is your, I'm sorry.
Second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Folk, second.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Logan.
Now, let me just write this in here. So this is our ordinance for the city of Coatesville, and it's setting the tax rate for general purposes for the year 2021 at the same rate as set for tax rate of 2020. And would you like me to read the whole ordinance?
You can, because there's no tax increase. We want to hear that.
That is correct. Whereas the city charter 2-604H provides that an ordinance is to be enacted simultaneously with the budget ordinance setting the levy of taxes. And whereas the Pennsylvania's Local Tax Enabling Act 53 PS 6924/306 directs that once adopted, a tax shall continue in force without annual reenactment unless the rate of the tax subsequently changes. And now therefore, in accordance with the authority invested in the city by the third-class city code and the city's charter, be enacted by the council of the city of Coatesville, and is hereby ordained by the authority of same as follows. 1. The general revenue tax levy and rate set forth in Chapter 203, General Revenue Tax, Article 10, I think. Article 10, I should know this. Article 4, sorry. General Revenue Tax, Section 203-26, tax levy rate, as amended, shall be set at the same rate set forth therein for tax year 2020, being 13.759 mils of each dollar of assessed valuation, or sum of 13.759 on each $1,000 of assessed valuation. Item 2, all other terms and conditions of the code not inconsistent herewith are to remain in full force and effect. Item 3, all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Item 4, if any portion of the ordinance shall be determined to be unconstitutional, illegal, or unenforceable, then the portion and only that portion of the ordinance which is deemed to be unconstitutional, illegal, or unenforceable shall be severed from the remainder of this ordinance, and all other terms thereof shall remain in full force and effect. Item 5, this ordinance shall take effect January 1, 2021. Enacted or ordained this day, the 14th of December, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Just a great job to everybody.
Yep. All right. You want to poll council, Mr. Logan?
Yes. Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt, she's still there. Mrs. Hunt,
She's there, but
Muted.
she's muted.
She's muted.
okay. Miss
Davey,
Alameen,
come-
Yes.
Miss Graves,
Yes.
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
and Mrs. Hunt, are you still there? Okay. We have 5 and 1 no vote.
All right. Did Mrs. Hunt come back on?
She still looks like she's muted.
Okay. All right. Motion passes. Without her vote, so we can just move
Right.
on, I guess. 7.2. Receive and consider a motion for adoption of ordinance 1538-2020, appropriating specific funds estimated to be required for the specific purpose of the city of Coatesville city government as herein set forth therein for the year 2021. Is there a motion?
So moved. So moved.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
I did.
Miss Alameen.
Second.
Thank you. And I was just informed that I only need to read the top portion of the ordinance.
Top portion. Okay.
So I will do that. Save me a drink of water.
Yeah.
An ordinance of the city of Coatesville, County of Chester, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, appropriating specific sums estimated to be required for the specific purposes of the city government as herein set forth for the year 2021.
Okay. Full council.
Mrs. Graves, excuse me, Miss Graves?
No.
All right. Miss Alameen?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt? Mr. Folks?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
And Mrs. Green?
Yes.
All right, 5-1 carried.
Mrs. Hunt is yes. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
Thank you.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
That happened to me earlier, Villa. I couldn't unmute.
Yeah,
for
I
some
kept
reason.
hitting it and hitting it. It wouldn't come off. I'm sorry.
I thought you fell asleep during the reading of the last ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you.
7.3.
I'm
7.3.
sorry. I've been trying.
Receive and consider a motion for adoption of ordinance 1540-2020, providing for salaries and wages for personnel employed by the city of Coatesville.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right.
Ordinance reads, an ordinance providing for salaries and wages for personnel employed by the city of Coatesville. Ordinance number 1540-2020.
Poll council.
Any questions on the motion first?
Oh, any questions? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can we get a raise?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, Donald, you deserve one. You go over and beyond. You did a great job Saturday.
Thank you.
Ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people believe.
Can you poll council, Mr. Logan?
Yes. Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
Mr. Foltz?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt?
Yes.
Miss Alameen?
Yes.
Miss Graves?
No.
Mrs. Green?
Yes.
5-1 carries.
All right, on to 7.4. Receive and consider a motion to retain Barbicane Thornton and Company LLC for the independent audit of the 2020 fiscal year. Can we get a motion?
Make that motion. Oh, I'll second it.
Can you poll council, or any questions or comments on
Who
that?
made the first?
Mrs. Hunt.
Mrs. Hunt.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions or comments? Can you poll council?
Miss Graves?
Yes.
Miss Alameen?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Foltz?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
And Mrs. Green?
Yes.
5-0 carries.
7.5.
Excuse me.
Receive and consider.
One second, Mr.
Okay.
Logan, wouldn't it be 6-0?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say? It's 5?
Yes.
You're correct. 6-0 carries. Thank you.
I thought there
You're
was
welcome.
a no in there.
No.
No, okay.
7.5, receive and consider a motion to set the Monday, January 4th, 2020, or 2021, should that say,
Yes.
reorganizational meeting time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Are there any questions or comments?
Yes. What time will it be at?
I think it's at, hold on,
Yeah, there's no time specified in there.
there's no time in, I think. Mr. Logan, are you on here?
Yes, I'm here. The time
What
that
was
we
the time? Yeah, it's the same time.
Well, we had to move the time because of, before COVID, we had people that were working. So, Anthony, I think we moved it to 6 p.m. last year.
Was it that late?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, I guess it
It
was.
was.
It was.
And if we are, since we're doing Zoom now, I would imagine that we can move that earlier if you all agree to that. But Anthony, are we locked into a specific time?
All right. Mr. Logan, I think last year was some discussion over the time for the meeting based upon the requirements of the charter. And I think the decision of council was to set the meeting for the earliest time that everyone could meet. And I think my recollection is 6 p.m. was the time that was set last year to accommodate everyone's work schedule to make sure that all of council could attend that meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes. I am.
Okay. All right. Can we poll council?
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt, Miss Alameen,
Yes.
Miss Graves,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes.
5-1 carries.
7.6, receive and consider a motion to approve the food bank moving to 3rd Avenue parking lot.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? None? Poll council, Mr. Logan.
Miss Graves,
Yes.
Miss Alameen,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes.
6 so carries.
Okay, lastly, 7.7. Receive and consider a motion to appoint bank signatories for Malvern Bank.
Elaborate on that.
Now, I have a question.
We have to make the motion first.
Is Rich on?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Is Rich on
Yes.
to elaborate on that?
Shows he's on here.
Mr. Troutman.
He fell asleep as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Logan.
Rich, are you on?
Can you?
Rich usually
Or
answers.
Mr. Logan, can you elaborate?
This is every year, well, not so much every year, but when there is I guess a new manager that's in place, we have to get a document signed for bank signatures. Our banking institute is Malvern, so we have to update all of the documentation so that checks and other documents can be signed by myself as well as Rich. So this is it's really kind of a formality to update the bank with the required signatures for documents from the city.
Any other questions or comments? Can you poll council, Mr. Logan?
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Miss Alameen,
Yes.
Miss Graves,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes.
6-0 carries.
Okay. We are on to 7.8, which is the declaration. Mr. Logan, do you have that declaration there?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I do have the declaration.
Any questions or comments on the declaration?
Yeah, I don't have a copy of it on my,
You don't?
no.
It's in
Can
executive
someone,
package, Mr. Simpson. It's not in the regular package. The actual declaration is in your executive package.
All right.
We're voting to ratify it, so it was in executive package.
So the language doesn't have anything about there being any fines, correct?
yeah, it does.
Yes, yes, it does. It starts on page 1 of
No, this one does not.
No, it don't.
This is the one that we discussed.
Correct.
Well, I thought that we had discussed that we were doing the one with the phone.
we
Okay.
did, and it ended up 4-3, Mr. Logan. So it was supposed to be the one read as written with the fine intact.
Oh, it is on there. It says subject to a citation and fine of not less than 25,
Yep.
but not to exceed 300.
Yeah, it's in the executive portion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on page 2 of the,
Mm-hmm. 2 of 35, I think it is, or 2 of.
so
Are there any questions? Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
I guess my only question is that the state's not, it's not a law. It's a mandate, it's a suggestion, and we're trying to enforce it as law and give people a fine for not wearing a mask. I think we're overstepping our boundaries, and I just don't think that we should have anything associated with any fines on it.
I agree.
I absolutely think we need to be put into a state of emergency and we need to have a mask mandate. But I do think fines could potentially be a hardship on people who are already experiencing hardship in the midst of COVID. However, I do support the state of emergency and also the mask mandate, but I don't support the fines.
I just have a question. So, Mr. Logan, there were actually 2 different declarations. So if the first declaration doesn't pass, is then the second declaration read, or how does that work?
We had 2 ordinances that we
Yes, and
But we
we
can only
discussed,
vote
but
on one at a time. So
correct.
if the first one doesn't pass, do we then vote on the second one so that the emergency declaration has to be ratified within 7 days? So if the first one does not pass with a fine, would we then vote to ratify the declaration without a fine so that the emergency declaration would stay in place? I don't know. Mr. Burway, can you help us out here?
Yes, if the motion, the pending motion is to adopt the ordinance ratifying the emergency declaration as written. If that's defeated, council, someone could make a motion to amend the agenda to consider a emergency ordinance ratifying the emergency declaration without fines, and then vote on that.
Can we just do that? Can we just do if the consensus is to do it without the fine, can we just do that now as opposed
Well,
to
there's already a
votes?
motion. There's already a motion on the floor.
Well, can't we do what we did before? to change the motion? We've done that
Well,
before.
Right.
Yeah,
The
can we, yeah,
the person
rescind
offering
it?
the motion could rescind the motion,
Rescind it.
rescind the motion, and then you could submit a revised motion for
Yeah.
ratification of the declaration of emergency without fines.
Okay, well, I will make a motion to rescind my original motion on the declaration as written. Mr.
And,
Folks, you seconded.
Yeah, I second.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion to ratify the declaration of the state of emergency without a fine.
and with the mask mandate.
But with the mask mandate, everything minus the fine.
Second that motion.
Are there any other questions on the motion?
I still don't think that we need.
It's without the fine.
I understand.
The mask mandate is a part of the governor's declaration.
I get that. And the governor did it. There's no reason for us to have any redundancy on it.
It's part of our emergency declaration.
All right, Mr. Any other questions or comments? Can you poll counsel, Mr. Logan?
Ms. Graves,
Yes.
Ms. Alamin,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hunt.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mr. Simpson,
No.
Mrs. Green.
Yes.
5-1 passes.
Okay. We're on to reports. Mr. Verbe, do you have a solicitor report for us or not?
Madam Vice President, I do not. I will offer a report at our next City Council's next regular meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hope you feel better. City manager report.
Let's see, I just have a few items this afternoon, or I should say this evening. You've heard from Jamie DePetris with DEPG. You hear that the work that they're completing on First Avenue and additional progress on the Gateway building itself. Sue Springsteen is on this evening or attending this evening. She is moving forward with her 190 West Innovation Center. The target date for completion is the first quarter of 2021, actually February, but I'll just say Q1 and hope she gets to February. We also have progress on the train station. I mentioned in the last meeting, the bids are going out for the new train station. And we hope that, provided with the weather and all of the stars aligning the right direction, we'll be able to have a shovel in the ground early next year. I would also like to take this time to thank the Deputy Secretary of the PA Department of Transportation for representing Coatesville. That's Ms. Jenny Granger. She has been, fighting hard for the city to get this train station along with the garage project off the ground. And we just really appreciate her help and her team, along with the Amtrak team, for making this come to fruition. So we're very excited, and we thank her for that. In addition to that, we've had a meeting with the Planning Commission last week to review our urban center improvement inventory. That's a list of projects that are kind of on the wish list for the city. It includes infrastructure to capital improvement projects to stormwater improvements as well. So we are looking forward to kind of get some of these projects off the ground. Of course, many of these projects require grant funding, which the grants are pretty competitive, but we feel that the city of Coatesville will be able to submit very strong proposals to get a number of our projects completed in the coming years. On the community update side, this past Saturday, we had a tree lighting event. I'd like to thank Santa for coming out. He was escorted by our fire department. Thank all the guys who participated in that. Josh Shriver was one of the guys leading the way along with our chief alderman, so we appreciate you guys' time. In addition to that, the tree lighting ceremony was sponsored by Elite Therapy Solutions. This is their second year that they have donated the tree to the city of Coatesville. We'd like to thank them for that. Patrick Kinsler, he's the director of administration over there, and the marketing representative, Nicole Hopton, did a great job along with James Bookman with the Parks and Rec Commission and other community volunteers that just did a great job. They were out there. I actually went out there. There was about 12 people there. We wanted to have a much larger event, but of course, with the spike of COVID in the city of Coatesville, they dialed it back a lot. If you went by, you were able to see a live performance, well, not a live performance, a performance by our Coatesville High School singing choir. It was beautiful. And they just made it very festive in the park. So my hat goes off to Patrick and all the folks at Elite and our volunteers and James Bookman and the rest of the team. So thank you guys again, along with, let's see, Second Century Alliance was involved in that, the Coatesville Senior Center, Harrison Senior Living, Synergy, Chesco, Holistic Care Hospice, and the Coatesville area Senior Center as well as the school district. A lot of people were involved in this, and you know, we were just happy that some of the holiday spirit continues in the city of Coatesville. One last note, and you know, if you hear my voice a little bit more kind of dialed back a little bit, it's because we have reached 595 cases to date in the city of Coatesville, and it worries me. We are trying to, through our ordinance as well as just informing people, our community, that we really have to change our behavior, wear masks. I know it's going to be a problem, but we have jumped 197 cases in about 20 days. I know that other communities are spiking as well, but Coatesville is a very dense community, as you all know. And these numbers are just, you know, I mean, we just have to kind of, you know, get better. We have to wear our masks. We have to distance ourselves. Hey, if you have to shop early to get your groceries, do that and get back inside. Young people, I know that you guys are out there. There's not a whole lot to do. But wear a mask when you guys are getting together. You know, I was just out, you know, shooting around this weekend. Saw about 10 of you guys out there not wearing masks. You got to just wear a mask. And I know it's hard on the basketball court, but, you know, this is what we have to do right now. I want to see you guys out there this summer. So, you know, everyone, please just try to get better at this. The vaccine is on the way. And I just hope that we can keep our numbers, or at least hit something where our numbers aren't going to get too outrageous before the new year. With that, oh, just one other note. Unfortunately, the testing site in Coatesville has closed. We will be reaching out to the county to see if we can get it reopened. But right now, we do not have an open testing site. So you would have to go to Westchester to get any COVID tests. And with that, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Logan. We'll have Chief Lawfer.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Included in your packet is our statistical report for November of this year. Just some highlights. We had 1,527 calls generated through the Chester County 911 Center for November. That's up from 1,247 in October. And we had 2,232 total calls for service, up from 2,126 in October. So a little uptick in our call volume for November. Just some other highlights for November and the first part of December. District Attorney Ryan has continued to support the department. I can announce tonight that they have decided to continue to reimburse the city for our detective who was assigned to the drug task force for the county. So his salary will once again, as it was in 2020, will continue for 2021 to be 100% reimbursed through the district attorney's office. So that assists us with the city budget for the police department. We're excited about that. A part-time officer update. We are down to 3 part-time officers that are actually working for the city of Coatesville. As you remember, several meetings ago, we did conditional officers, conditional offers of employment for 4 additional part-time officers. Of those 4, 2 are no longer interested in the position, and 2 have successfully completed their background investigations. So I wanted to update council at this point on our part-time officer hiring. Those 2, there were absolutely no red flags raised in their background investigation. And the background investigation was completed even though the new MPO ETC guidelines aren't in effect until next July. Our background investigation process already complies with those new regulations, which will go into effect in 2021. So we have 2 successful candidates that are through the background. They will now go to the psychological exam, and then to medical for physical and drug testing. So that's our update with regard to our part-time officers. Just some additional highlights for November. We continue participation in Chester County FOP and District Attorney's Office Task Force on Race Relations. We had 2 Narcan saves in November, 1 Narcan save the first part of December, bringing 26 total year to date for the police department. We installed 11 car seats in November and 5 car seats the first 2 weeks in December. We also trained a new officer, Felicia Delgatti, one of our part-time officers, obtained her child passenger safety technician certification. So will allow us to continue to provide that service to our community, not only being able to provide the car seats at free of charge, but make sure that they're professionally installed and that the individuals that receive the car seats are trained then on how to make sure that they're utilizing them properly for our children. We also participated in Click It or Ticket from 11/23 to 12/12 with grant funding from PennDOT and Chester County Highway Safety Project, trying to make sure that everybody's properly buckled. And that's also just adult safety restraints and child also. And our annual Shop with a Cop program took place on this past Saturday. Once again, we partnered with Coatesville Kids to College and Hope Beyond Borders. Due to our COVID situation, we adjusted the program and opted for more of a family-oriented shopping experience. I'd like to thank Councilman Folks for once again supporting us and supporting our Shop with a Cop program. We were out at the Walmart on Saturday and just made sure that the families were there, and we continued to be supportive of the community. We felt it was important that even though it's was definitely a modified program this year for Shop with a Cop, we didn't want to miss a year, and we felt it was important. So we met the families out there. We provided them with the gift cards, and then we let them go ahead and have their Christmas shopping without an officer escorting them this year and assisting, because of the COVID restrictions, but I still believe it was well received and supports our community. So once again, Mr. Folks, thanks for assisting on that on Saturday.
Welcome.
And then just to close it out, I mentioned Officer Felicia Delgatti. She received recognition from the chief for You Made a Difference Award this past month. Just like to mention that she was recognized for, even as a part-time officer, for her commitment to the community that she serves. And in particular, one young lady who she is mentoring and has identified as somebody that was actually reached out to the department and asked if we had a female officer that could, sort of come out and introduce her to what it means to be a police officer today, and in particular, what it means to be a female police officer in today's time. So we appreciate her service to the city and wanted to make sure that she got recognized for that. And that's all I had tonight, unless there's any other questions.
Well, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief, I do have one question for you. I understand that you have one individual downstairs that has served you for many years who no longer has to report to duty.
Yes, that's correct. I should have mentioned that. Our parking enforcement officer, PEO Smith, Robin Smith, recently completed 20 years of service to the Army Reserve, and she is happily retired now. And I think her husband is probably happier than we are. But she thanked her for her service for 20 plus years of service to the Army, and doing what sometimes we take for granted. But that's a lot of time to invest, even if it is 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. It still is a lot of commitment to keep it up for 20 years. She is to be commended for that. And she is happy to still be in service here to the city of Coatesville. So thank you, Mr. Logan, for reminding me to recognize PEO Robin Smith.
Thank you, and thank her for her service.
Yes, thank her. Okay. Any other questions for the chief? Okay, we're on to citizens' hearings, non-agenda items. I know we had Lori Shannon Bailey. Is she still there?
She's on, but she's muted.
Miss Bailey, are you there?
Are there any other ones?
Are there anyone else we're seeing?
No, I don't see any others.
Okay. Miss Bailey, can you unmute your line? Is she still hooked up? Well,
Close.
yep. Anyone make a motion to close citizens' hearings?
Make that motion.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'll second.
Who made the motion, please?
Ms. Hunt.
Ms. Hunt.
Thank you. Ms. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Solomon?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Folks?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
And Mrs. Green?
Yes.
6-0 carried.
Do we have any special events?
We do not.
Okay, so we make a motion to close. Oh, we did. We're on to council comments.
You gonna say who's first?
Mr. Folks. Mr. Folks?
Yeah, how you doing? Hello, everybody. It's been a long week from signing the steel beam for Sue, from shot with a cop, and they had a nerve to put me up on a fire truck to be Santa Claus. That experience and shot with a cop, it was a busy week, and it was a good week. But I just want to tell you what I saw when I was on that fire truck and what I didn't see. I didn't see police brutality. I didn't see buildings burning down. I didn't see marches. I didn't see racism. What I saw was the kids and adults waving to a man in a red suit. Tears was coming down my eyes while the kids are waving and hollering Santa Claus. And Coatesville's a great place. Coatesville is a place where everybody is somebody. So no matter if you're black, white, Spanish, Mexican, Jew, or Gentile, you are somebody. I know it's tough around this time of the year because some people lost their mother or father or brother. This is real serious for Coatesville. Our numbers are going up. But that ride around the city, if you could have done it, you didn't see racism. You saw tears of joy over a man in a suit. I wish I could ride around Coatesville every day because them kids were hanging out windows and they were running out on the sidewalk just to get a glimpse of a man in a red suit. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Happy holidays, Donald. Yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
thank you. Just be safe, wear a mask.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Councilperson Graves.
Yes, I would like to say, start off by saying, because I know we're meeting again in the new year, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy solstice, and happy all of anything that anyone celebrates. Happy Yule coming up in the next few weeks, because I know that there's a lot of celebrations. And Happy New Year, of course. I know that through all of the celebrations that we are going to want to gather with friends and family, because those are usually our traditions. I would ask that you refrain from gathering, maybe try new ways to gather, like over Zoom meeting, FaceTime friends and family, try cooking dinner at your house with the people who live there, because these next few these next few weeks of COVID is just going to end up getting really dark. We've already lost so many people, and we're going to continue to keep losing people. There's a ton of people here in Coatesville who are sick, and we just want to keep everybody safe by reducing our traveling and gathering. So, yep, just asking everybody to stay safe, make sure you wear a mask. We've just ratified a mask mandate. So whenever you're in public, you have to wear a mask, that's indoors and outdoors. And otherwise, I am really excited to see the Jazz Cafe. I'm always excited for businesses to come to Coatesville, especially businesses who are focused on doing things like hiring 50% of their staff of qualified Coatesville community members. That's really important to make sure that folks here can become employed so that they don't get displaced. So thank you for thinking about that when you thought about bringing a business to Coatesville. And otherwise, everybody just have a good weekend, a good night, and a happy new year.
Thank you so much. Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Vice President Green. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a long year. Despite COVID, I still think that this city has made a lot of progress towards turning around and being revitalized. And we're well on our way. And hopefully when we return next year, it's going to be a much better year. With the vaccines and everything that are coming out now and all the people that are going to be vaccinated, I think that next year is going to be a promising year and we're really looking forward to it. And so Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mrs. Hunt.
Good evening. I want to thank everyone for joining in and sharing this evening with us. I want to thank those that came with your great presentations tonight. It's really encouraging to see new business coming into the city. It was an awesome celebration with Sue last week up at 190. It's just awesome seeing the city being vibrant, and even through the situations that we're dealing with the COVID, we're not at a standstill. We're not being slowful in things that we're doing. We're continuing to move ahead. So I just want to thank all of you for what you're doing to maintain and to make our city grow. I want to wish everyone a blessed holiday season. Whichever way you celebrate, I just pray that do it with caution and that you do it with care for one another. I want to thank again Mr. Logan and our administrative staff for the awesome job that you're doing, keeping our city moving. I have a little dilemma, and my women's ministry, as you heard me talk about often, we've provided food and clothes for the city residents over these last few months. And we've been engaged by Toys for Tots to distribute toys. And it's scheduled for this Saturday, but I'm concerned about how we can really do it and still keep everybody safe. I implemented a plan to maybe take appointments so people could come, and we have no more than 3 or 4 parents at a time come and get the toys. But I'm still not sure if that's a safe thing to do right now. So, Mr. Logan, I'll give you a call tomorrow and give some thoughts on that. But in any event, it is scheduled for coming Saturday at 12 noon, where parents can come and get toys for their children. I believe they're going to give us 300 to 350 toys for infants up to the age of 13. So I would love to be able to be a distributor for that. However, I still need to maintain safety. So I will call Mr. Logan tomorrow and see if we think that it would be wise to do that. Again, I just thank everyone for all that you're doing for the city And to all of my colleagues, happy holiday season. And I'll see you in the new year. God bless.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunt. Thanks a lot. Ms. Salamine.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to thank all those that attended. Sue, I want to thank you for your event. Thank you for inviting all of us to be able to sign the final beam that goes in your building. It was very, very exciting. So I was happy to be a part of that. Mr. Dantzler, again, I want to thank you for deciding to bring your business to your hometown and not take it somewhere else. I'm looking forward to both of your grand openings, and hopefully COVID will have settled down by then so they can be big to-dos. I'd also like to reiterate what Mr. Logan said. We do have 595 cases in the city of Coatesville, and we also have 5 deaths. So with the deaths, those 5, their first cause of death was COVID. So if someone passes and COVID is an attributing factor, but not the #1 cause, that doesn't necessarily hit the dashboard. So, you know, there's been cases of folks that had underlying conditions, and unfortunately, they got COVID and they weren't able to fight it through. There is a mask mandate in effect by the governor. Please, everybody, please wear your mask, social distance. Whatever your holiday may be this year, you may have to forego the big family gatherings, but please forego it so that next year you can have the gatherings with your family. We can all be safe. Whatever holiday the different individuals celebrate, I'd like to say happy holidays to everybody. Hanukkah started at sundown on Friday and goes through the 18th of December, which is then followed by Christmas, and the day after Christmas is Kwanzaa, and then you have New Year's. So whatever holiday you may celebrate, I hope it's filled with a lot of joy, and you can all enjoy yourself. I'd like to say a happy and a blessed New Year to everybody, and prayerfully next year will be a little better than this year, a lot better actually with the COVID. But please, everybody, stay safe, wear your mask. It's not forever, it's temporary. And I think if we would all do our part and do what we need to do now, we could get over the hump. And, you know, if you're sick, stay home, please. Don't come out in public. And if by chance you do get COVID, please stay home for your quarantine. Again, you know, don't come out in public. Coatesville, everybody is very close knit. If somebody needs something, you can always inbox me. You can always call me. I'd be glad to go to the store and do a porch drop, a door drop. And please, just everybody stay safe. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Alamine.
Mrs. Green,
You're welcome.
can I say a few words before we turn it over to you so you can close?
Yes.
I promise I'll be brief. I just want to just say thank you to a group of people that rarely get thanked. I know that council members, you guys do thank them, but I don't get a chance to thank them that much. And that's to the city hall staff and all the people that, you know, kind of do the things to make the city run. That's our finance department, our finance director, Rich Troutman, who may or may not be on the line tonight, but he has a very dedicated staff that they do some hard work. They crunch numbers. They service our customers, our residents as they come in. They are our front line because they're here almost every day because the community is here every day. So I wanted to thank Rich and his team for the outstanding work that they do. In addition to that, I want to thank Steve Dobson, who is our code supervisor, and his team, Stacia James, along with LTL, for doing the outstanding work that they do in our codes department. I also like to thank our chiefs of police, our fire chief, Mr. Gary Altman, and our Chief of Police, John Lawford. Thank you guys for the outstanding work that you do each day and keeping me motivated from time to time. And I also want to give a big shout out to our public works, the guys that are out there on the ground 24/7 sometimes in all types of weather. They're like the post office. They're out there every day. And thank you guys for your outstanding work and leadership. And the last person, but not least, I think it's the last person, but not least, is the lady that sits next door to me, Ruth Ann Malday, who's been here for a lot longer than many of us. She's seen 7 managers come and go. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. But Ruth Ann, thank you for all of the work that you do, all of the requests that you fill, along with I think your partner in crime downstairs, Kelly. You guys do some work that, I mean, without you guys, I probably couldn't find anything here in City Hall. So thank you. I appreciate you. I wish you guys the best of holidays, and looking forward to working with you all next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Logan.
Mrs. Gray,
Uh-huh.
this is Chief Alderman. Can I say one thing before you end?
Sure.
I'd like to tell you that
Go ahead, Mr. Alderman.
this will be probably my last meeting except the reorganizational meeting. But I actually enjoyed Saturday night escorting that fire truck around the city of Coatesville. I did that probably 47 years ago. What Councilman Folks did on the fire apparatus, and not a lot has changed. I will tell you that kids back then versus kids nowadays, they love that guy in red. And I will tell you the hour and a half or 2 hours that we rode around the city of Coatesville, he honestly didn't shut up the whole time. He was so jollyful up there that I could hear him from in front of my truck, that he did an excellent job, and I commend him for that. Unfortunately, this will be the last year I'll be around to enjoy the Coatesville Fire Department taking fire trucks around town, but I'm glad that was suggested, and I think it was great for those kids to see that and to hear him out there. Even though we had a couple strange people out there, but we found some adults that were quite funny, but everybody seemed to enjoy them, and I could see the parents running back inside to get the kids to come out there to wave to him and thank him, and believe me, he did a very good job. And ending, I would thank the city of Coatesville for allowing me to have worked for them for the last 5.5 years. And I will gratefully miss not working for the city of Coatesville. I've done it for many years, off and on, and just keep up the good work. And I hope things can improve and things can come back around, and the city of Coatesville can be a nice place for people to visit. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Alderman. I so appreciate you and your support to our community. We just thank you. And, when you're talking about the fire truck with Mr. Folks, I can only imagine not being there, but I know Mr. Folks and his comments that he made during his council comments were awesome, because that's what it's about, in the climate that we're in, and so much sadness with the COVID, something like that to touch people's hearts. It's not about racism. It's not about protests. It's not about all these other things that we get so bogged down with. And I thank you, Mr. Folks. I told you that on Saturday, how much I appreciated you being out there, being just so committed and dedicated to the city of Coatesville. And, it's those kinds of things that make it all worthwhile. It's those kinds of things that move the people, and sometimes we get so caught up in so many other things. And I just thank you. Even earlier in our meeting when we did the letter of condolence for the Forte family, that was so touching for them. And sometimes, in the midst of your sadness, that you can make somebody feel good and brighten their day and brighten their moments. And, as council people, we represent our different wards and things like that. But, we legislate and we do things, we have difference of opinion. But when it all comes down, it's about our residents. It's about the people that have elected us to be here. It's about making them feel good and doing things that make them feel good. And I just want to say, to the department heads and all the employees of the city, we appreciate you this holiday season. We wish you all a safe holiday and a happy new year. Chief, the police department, I just need you to know and hear from me, I support you guys 100%. It's about keeping our residents safe. It's about doing the things that you have to come across each and every day, things that we don't know anything about, things that we don't know. And, there's always room for improvement. And I just thank you for your leadership, because you're right there to say, okay, this is where we're going to go. We're going to do this, with everything coming up with the new trainings and stuff that our officers are going to undergo. I thank you for having the foresight to see that, hey, this is what we provide them, the tools that they need, because it's about our residents. It's about the people. We hear so much going on, and I think sometimes we get caught up in the national news, but I'm grateful and thankful that here in the city of Coatesville, we have a chief that is willing to listen and willing to talk. So I so appreciate you, Chief Lawford, for that. We had a lot going on in this meeting today. We had a lot of action items and some really good stuff. The best one was no tax increase for 2021. Not only did we not have a tax increase, but we did not have to take from the rainy day fund. And that's a long time coming. And it just makes my heart glad that I just feel that we're hitting that turn. We're coming right across that curve. And there's so many things that are going on in the city. We are progressing. The train station is coming. We have new businesses coming. Mr. Dantzler's presentation was awesome. His vision is awesome. DEPG, just grateful they're hanging in there in the midst of COVID, and, things, get delayed, things get, tied up, but I'm grateful right now. And I just hope that we all hang in there, that we do our part, that we support the city, that we support the staff, that we make way for new development and new people to want to come into the city. We found a jewel in Sue Springsteen and her company coming here and doing the things and just being excited about Coatesville and bringing their industry into the city. So I'm grateful today. And I just want to say to everyone who has tuned in tonight, we thank you for coming out. We thank you for spending the time. I hope you heard some things that encouraged you. I hope you heard some things that created excitement in you. And we ask that you come back again the first of the year and start all over again for another full year for the city. And God bless you all. And I just thank you all. Good night. Do we have a motion to close?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Logan?
Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
Mr. Folks,
Yes.
Mrs. Hunt,
Yes.
Miss Alameen,
Yes.
Miss Graves,
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Yes. Thank you all.
Good night. Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Good
Merry
night.
Christmas.
Good night,
Thank you all.
everybody.
Everybody.
Holidays.
Everybody, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Sure.